Brigadier General Joane Mathews was the first Native American woman to become a general officer in the Army National Guard. The Wisconsinite, who hails from the Lac du Flambeau Reservation in northern Wisconsin, is retiring. The now Deputy Adjutant General for the Army spent her career shattering records as she became the state's first non-medical female colonel, first female commander of the 1st Battalion, and the first female brigade commander in the Guard. That's just to name a few. As she says goodbye to the military and takes up a role in the private sphere, I sat down with her to look back on her career. Congratulations, first of all, on your retirement from the military. You have shattered a lot of glass ceilings in your time for both women and for Native Americans. What does that mean for you?
Well, when people say shattered glass ceilings, I'm not one to really boast and brag. I really don't look at myself like that. I just look at, I did the best I could in the situation, and I've just been very blessed with the positions I've been able to hold and the people I've been able to work with and to work for. And I've just continued my career and just been having a blast doing everything I had the opportunity to do.
So when others say, you're the first woman to make all these different roles in the Army, National Guard or this or that, does it mean as much to you when they say that?
Again, I hate being the first, but somebody's got to be the first, right? And I'm hoping that I'm setting a good example for those who would then follow me, because I want there to be many more. So I'm hoping that I'm a good role model, and people look at me to say I can do that too.
If they aren't the promotions or the first or this or that, what do you feel are the biggest moments, your biggest highlight of your military career?
Well, when I first joined the Army years ago, I sat down with my two sisters and we talked about our goals and what was our goal at the time, and we each had our own career goals and aspirations. And I said, if I make Lieutenant Colonel, I'll be so happy. And I made Lieutenant Colonel, and then I made Colonel, and I made General Officer. And I never in my wildest dreams, number one, thought I would be serving beyond my 6-year obligation. And number two, I never thought I would make General Officer. I think very blessed to have reached that rank, and I'm very proud of it.
What do you think it means for your Native American culture to be the first Native American in that role?
They're extremely proud people, and they support the military every way they can. And as soon as my reservation heard I made General Officer, they're extremely proud. And whenever I go home, they just welcome me with open arms, and when I go to the powwows with them, they help me, or they allow me to carry the Eagle staff during the grand opening, and it's just such a high honor.
Home is near Minocqua, so take me back a little bit to your childhood. Tell me about your tribe. Tell me a little bit about that culture for someone who isn't as familiar.
So I grew up in Lac du Flambeau. It's a reservation close to Woodruff and Minocqua, a very small reservation. I went to grade school there, and then I had to get bused to high school, which was in Minocqua. They had 5 or 6 other grade schools that were a part of that high school. So growing up on a small reservation, and probably like any other small community around the nation, there was poverty, there was alcoholism, there's drugs. I wanted to get away from that when I graduated high school, so the first thing I did was I left and I moved to Minneapolis. I wanted to be in the big city, but growing up in Lac du Flambeau, my father was full-blood Native American, and my mom, she was half. So went to a lot of powwows. I remember going to my grandma and grandpa's house every Sunday, and they'd put the drum in the middle of the living room, and we'd all sing and dance, and we'd have our dinner there, and my grandma would make biscuits, and we'd just have a great family time. My grandma would boil syrup. My dad and I would go, and all of us kids would go collect the sap and make maple syrup. And there's so many great memories where I learned the culture. My dad would tell me stories of that's all he spoke was the Ojibwe language growing up, and I regret not learning more about the culture when I was young. I was more of, I want to get out of this small town and just get away and do something different. But now I'm just so proud and do everything I can whenever I get back.
What of the culture do you feel like you were able to bring into the military and influence it in that regard?
I think it's pride in serving, and just the service of community, of nation, of our state, whatever the case may be. It's just proud to wear the uniform and proud to do whatever we can to help our people.
You deployed to Iraq earlier in your career a number of times. What do you remember most from that time?
Actually, I deployed, I was stationed in Turkey, and we flew into northern Iraq. And I remember it was challenging as a pilot, flying through the mountains, and we were transporting people. But I remember being so thankful for what we have in America, because when you don't see what other folks live in and how they live, you really don't appreciate what you have until you see things like that.
I suspect you're going to hate this question just based on some of your earlier answers, but what do you think it was about you that got you promoted through the ranks into leaderships, throughout your career?
Luck. I think, well, in the National Guard, a lot of it is timing, because there has to be a position in order for you to be promoted into, and it's also experience, it's potential, it's performance, it's all those things. So when all those stars aligned, and you do a good job, and your leaders see you have potential, then you get your promotions.
Any final thoughts?
It's been a great career. 35 years serving in the military has been just such an awesome opportunity. I've been able to travel around the world. The best part of my job is just traveling and talking to soldiers. Like I said, every soldier has a story. Every soldier is wanting to do the right thing, and they join the service for a reason, and to learn their stories, and to help them, to listen to them, to know that we care and we're there for them. It's just, I've been really blessed to have been a part of this organization.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.